Well, hello, we are back again.
Yes, we are. Well, if you don't know who we are, my name is Clinton Armitage,
And I'm Kate Armitage.
and we have returned from our mission in the Hungary Budapest mission.
It was great.
And before we talk about what we're doing now, let's talk about what we did in our, I think, last 8 months, 9 months maybe, I don't know, 6 months.
So we have been home about 4 months and we feel bad because the last video that we put out was kind of like big changes. We're going to the office and then we just didn't do any more videos. So we thought we better like catch you up on what happened in the last 9 or 10 months of our mission.
Right. It's not that we didn't want to, really. I mean, we were very busy in the office. It was very rewarding and a lot of fun. And so let's get on to what we were doing in the office. So in the office, I was in charge of vehicles, and Kate?
I mostly worked with housing. Well, we both worked on housing and then we did a few things aside from that. So we'll go through each one of those.
Yeah. So with vehicles, my job was to make sure that all the church vehicles that we had were getting their regular maintenance, which also included selling the church vehicles and buying, well, not really buying, but picking up the new vehicles and making sure that they had the tracking system and everything else installed in them, plus the Autobahn stickers and stuff.
Yeah, and you really worked closely with some people in Germany at the area office for that, right?
Yep.
Yep, and then getting tickets in the mail, so that was just a whole nother thing. He would get mail delivered in Hungarian and it would be a ticket for somebody and he'd have to call a missionary and say, you got a ticket. So
that's always good news. They love hearing that.
Oh, that was horrible. Another thing that we did was the housing, and we pretty much split that job up. That was probably the majority of the work that we did was with housing. We were in charge of finding apartments for the new missionaries, closing apartments when we were closing an apartment, and also making sure that they were stocked with the things that the missionaries needed. So if they had something like maybe a frying pan was kind of old and used and they needed a new one, they would message us and we would purchase that from mostly IKEA and then have it at Zone Conference in little bags for them to pick up the things that they needed for their apartments.
Yeah. With that job, we worked very closely with the mission president, who of course decided where he wanted missionaries to go, if he was going to open up a new area or close an area. So it required a lot of work in the sense of when we were opening a new area, it required us going to IKEA and a couple of other stores and outfitting it with beds, sheets, houseware, making sure that it had the necessary things that the missionaries needed. And then if it was just relocating one, then we would take the van and pull all the stuff out of the old apartment, transport it to the new place, and then loading it into the new house.
And you would think maybe that didn't happen very often, but our mission president really wanted the missionaries to have nice apartments with air conditioning in nice areas. And so we ended up changing maybe 13, 14 or 15 apartments in that 9 or 10 month period. So we were constantly looking for apartments. And it was interesting. You'd probably ask, like, how did we do that when a lot of the people speak Hungarian? But for the most part, we used a real estate agent who spoke English. He was Hungarian, so he and his wife would work with us and he would contact the landlords and work out all the details and we'd go meet with them.
Yeah, he knew who we were, what we wanted, and he would make sure that the homeowners knew who we were and what type of renters that they were getting. And so it made it very easy for us. Basically, we just looked at it, and if we liked it, then we would do some negotiation and then signing leases. Some were a little more pickier than others. It required us to get some signatures from other people, but Yeah, it went very smoothly most of the time. So it was great. It was rewarding in the sense that we actually got to see a lot of Hungary that way, because wherever missionaries were, we basically went there to either look at the apartments, move apartments, get new apartments. So it was great. Anyway.
Yeah, and we actually loved that part, being able to drive around the country. And we used the other senior missionaries a lot to help us with that. Sometimes they would do walkthroughs when we were closing in an apartment if it was a couple hours away, or help the missionaries move or help them clean. They didn't have to do that, but they would go in and help the juniors clean. So we relied on them a lot. So if you are watching these videos to see what things you might be doing on a senior mission, housing inspections for the juniors, and just helping with those moves.
Vehicle inspections.
Yeah.
Helping missionaries when they get flat tires.
Dead batteries.
Dead batteries. There's all sorts of funny things.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, one of the other things that we would do is take care of the food. So we also had a lot of help with the other senior missionaries for that, but we would buy the food. There's a store there called Metro. It was pretty similar to Costco, and so we would go there and buy fruits and vegetables and drinks and things like that. And then most of the time we would cater food. We would order pulled pork, or we would order sandwiches or cookies, and then we would go around and pick up those things and bring them, set the tables up, put the spread out on the table. So that was something that we would take care of.
Yeah, that way the missionaries didn't have to worry about it. The mission president and his wife loved it because they didn't have to worry about it. We would just make sure they knew what we were getting, and they were fine with it most of the time. Sometimes she would have a recommendation, and so we would go that way, and it was great. I mean, it's just nice to know that, you know, they can go to conference, have their meetings, have lunch, and then carry on and not have to worry about anything. But they were great. We had that afterwards. It was normally all cleaned up within 10 minutes, and you know,
everyone pitching in and helping.
It was great.
So that was part of it. And then we would orient the new missionaries. So part of the fun of being in the office is you get to meet all the missionaries in the mission. So yeah, just doing that orientation with them.
Yeah, it was always fun watching new missionaries come in, because when they come into Hungary, they've been on a plane, or they've been on 2 planes for about 13, 14 hours. And they are exhausted.
But excited.
They are excited.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that we throw a lot of information at them about a whole lot of different topics. And they're normally like, the next day, they're like, I don't remember a thing you told me.
No, they don't. And that whole week is also really busy. We would call it transfer week. And we would have missionaries leaving the mission and getting on the plane. And we'd have trainers coming in the office who are going to train the new missionaries. Then we'd have the new missionaries coming in. So we had food going on every day that week, and orientation. So it was busy, but so fun. We loved it so much.
Yeah, it was a good time. So Kate, what's some of the things that you really loved about the mission?
Yeah, just so to recap our mission, we absolutely loved working with the younger missionaries, and we've talked about that in some of our previous videos, how impressive they were and how we love them so much. But that is just one of the highlights, is just getting to know those young missionaries. And now as they get home, they're sending us their wedding announcements and going on with that next part of their lives. And we just love them. We're so thankful to be able to have met them and worked with them.
Yeah. The members are fantastic, to see such faithful members. You know, they don't have all the, what's the right word? Not amenities. They don't have all the resources and I guess encouragement, maybe, no.
Or even the fellowship. There's just, we go into church and there's 100, 200 people in there, and we've talked about our little branch of 7, you know.
Sometimes you're lucky to get a calling. Over there, you're lucky to have less than 3 callings, you know.
They are wonderful. They're so faithful, and their history is amazing. We just loved the members so much.
I think some best highlights is also, seeing these young Hungarians getting baptized now and embracing the gospel and seeing the joy that, enters their lives. And it's just so fun seeing them getting so excited about the gospel and wanting to share the gospel. It's really exciting and very rewarding.
Yeah. We also absolutely loved Hungary itself. Like, the country is beautiful. There's castles and the scenery is beautiful. I would tell everybody now that when we come back that it is so safe. I didn't know what to expect going to Hungary, but I never felt like I wasn't safe. You did have to watch out for things like pickpockets on the subway and just be cautious, but I never felt like I couldn't walk there at nighttime or that I was going to get mugged. So it's a very safe country and one that you definitely have to put on your bucket list.
Yeah, so in a recap for me, the mission in Hungary for seniors, it's a very rewarding mission. And very different than what you might think it was. I think Kate and I thought we'd be out proselyting a lot more, but then you realize you do not have the lingo.
Yeah, the language is a definite barrier.
Right. So you learn to do other things, and the members really do appreciate all the help and effort that you put in. And we've made some really great friends, and so it was definitely well worth it, and we really enjoyed our time there.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, what have we been doing since we've been back?
That is the question.
A lot of golf.
We have been playing so much golf. We got home, and probably a week after we got home, we flew to Florida where our daughter was having a baby. I guess we should say she's our favorite daughter because she had a baby right before we left and right when we got home. So she arranged that so that we were not gone. So just kidding. She's not our favorite daughter. We love her, but all of our kids are equal in our eyes. But anyway, we were excited to come home to a new grandchild and a lot of golf. We have put our house up for sale, so we're trying to sell our house right now. So that's just been something that's been thrown in the mix. And what else?
We have a trip planned for the end of the year, so we've got some things planned, and yeah.
We also just babysat for 3 of our grandchildren while their parents went on a cruise. So we've been doing a lot of grandparenting and just enjoying the nice weather here in Washington. It's been beautiful. And as we've been doing all these plans, just the thought popped into our mind that it was time to open up another missionary packet. So we did. So that's what we're doing right now, is we are in the process of going through all the interviews and the medical paperwork to go on another mission.
Yeah. In fact, now that we've done it once, we really pretty much zoomed through this one. And so things have gone very smooth this time, so far.
I don't think we're going to tell you right now what type of mission that we are planning on doing. We will do another video and just tell you a little bit about the process of how maybe it was easier for us this time to do it now that we have some experience and maybe some changes that we did. And we'll tell you where we're going. We should have our paperwork in about 2 weeks, a week to 2 weeks.
Yep.
So we will update you as to what that is, but we're excited about it. It's probably 4 or 5 months sooner than we had planned on putting our paperwork in. We knew we were going to, but we just had the thought the other day that, hey, let's do this before we go on our trip. And our date that we're putting in as available is next April. So we're still a little ways out, but just getting that preparation underway, we're excited.
Well, with that being said, we appreciate all those that took the time to look at the videos. We hope that it helped. We have definitely gotten feedback from those that watched saying that it really did help them. We've had feedback from quite a few that have been assigned to Hungary while we were there, and since then, since we've been home, that have said it's been very helpful. And so we hope that this continues to help people with that process. Oh, By the way, our mission president and his wife returned home, and there is a new mission president and wife in Hungary.
Yeah.
And things are going really well from what we understand. So
We wish them a lot of luck.
yeah.
We know they're doing a great job. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.